Hey guys, this is Dragon Master Uno here, and today we're going to be looking at the free agency moves by all teams in the 2018 offseason. So, let's begin. Oh, and this article is provided by CBS Sports, and it's at cbssports.com. If you want to see it, I'll put the link down in the description. So, the Atlanta Hawks signed Justin Anderson, Alex Len, Jeremy Lin, I hope he's good this year, Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, and Omri Spellman. So, they waived Carmelo, they waived Antonius Cleveland, Damian Lee signed with the Warriors, Mike Muscala was traded to the 76ers, Dennis Schroeder was traded to Thunder. He was probably their best player last year. And Isaiah Taylor was waived. And they didn't re-sign anyone. So, this says, the rebuilding Hawks gamble by trading Luka Doncic for Trae Young and a protected 2019 first-round pick. They got rid of Dennis Schroeder to put the team entirely in Young's hands. They also picked up another first-round pick for facilitated Carmelo's exit from OKC. It's going to be a while before the Hawks are good again, but they're collecting assets along the way, and they graded them a B. So let's move on to the Boston Celtics. So their biggest moves were re-signing. So the Boston Celtics signed Brad Wanamaker and they drafted Robert Williams, and then Shane Larkin signed to play in Turkey. Abdel Nader got traded to the Thunder, and Rodney Purvis was waived. And I heard that Marcus Morris, or one of the Morris brothers, signed with the Raptors. I don't know which one played for the Celtics, but I think it was Marcus. So they re-signed Aaron Baines, Jabari Bird, and Marcus Smart, which were big moves for them. So this says the Celtics expectedly stayed pat after kicking the tires on a possible Kawhi Leonard deal, and they'll bring back what could be the Eastern Conference most intimidating roster. Williams was a lottery talent who dropped due to various concerns, but he could flourish in the Celtics' organizational structure. Grade A. So now we're moving on to the Brooklyn Nets. So they signed Ed Davis, Jared Dudley, Kenneth Faried, Trevin Graham, Shabazz Napier, Zon Busa, and Rodion Kirkus. And they traded Darrell Arthur. Dante Cunningham signed with the Spurs. Dwight Howard got waived to them. The Wizards signed him. Jeremy Lin got traded to the Hawks, which I thought was kind of a bad move from them. Nick Stauskas signed with the Trailblazers, and Isaiah Whitehead got traded to the Nuggets. And they re-signed Joe Harris. So this says, the Nets will continue their rebuilding efforts with no major additions, but they did take on some salary in exchange for future picks, something they famously lacked in past years. Davis is an elite rebounder, and Dudley is considered a great locker room presence. Grade B+. Okay. So the Charlotte Hornets signed Bismack Biyombo. I have him in my team in NBA 2K18. Tony Parker. Yeah, I think the only thing he'll be doing for the Hornets is being like a really good locker room presence. Miles Bridges got drafted. Devontae Graham got drafted by them, and Arnold Kubaka got drafted by them. So, Michael Carter-Williams signed with the Rockets, which I thought was good for them because Michael Carter-Williams has just super declined. I mean, he can't really provide anything for teams anymore. I mean, his best season was in his rookie season. Uh, so Dwight Howard traded to the Nets. Yeah, I'm not sure if this was a good trade or not, because we'll just have to wait and see if trading Dwight Howard was a good move. So Timothy Mozgov was traded to the Magic, and Julian Stone was traded to the Bulls, and they re-signed nobody. So Charlotte's biggest move was dumping Howard, and they brought Biyombo back to replace him. They overpaid for Parker, but they're hoping his veteran presence will help make the deal worth it. They're banking on addition by subtraction with the loss of Howard, but they didn't get markedly better this offseason, and they graded them a C+. I agree. We don't even know if they're going to be terrible without him or good without him. So the Chicago Bulls. So they got Antonius Cleveland, Jabari Parker, Wendell Carter Jr., and Chandler Hutchison. They lost Jerian Grant, Sean Kilpatrick, Julian Stone, Noah Vonleh, and Paul Zipser. And they re-signed Ryan Arcidiacono, Antonio Blakeney, and Zach LaVine. So it says Carter Jr. looked incredible in Summer League. It could be a draft steal. But the Bulls added Parker on a $40 million deal, team option for next season. Essentially a fourth power forward along with Lauri Markkanen, Bobby Portis, and Carter. They also chose to match the 4-year, $78 million offer sheet from the Kings for LaVine, which is a lot of cash to invest in a player coming off ACL surgery. It'll be an interesting experiment, but the Bulls definitely added young talent, and they graded them a B. So, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay. Yeah, we're getting to this team. In Sam Dekker, trade with Clippers. Channing Frye, free agent, and Colin Sexton. He's actually a really good pickup for them. That's like, he's definitely not going to be as good as LeBron, but that's a nice pickup from them. He's probably going to be a good player one day. So, Jose Calderon, Jeff Green, and of course, we're getting to this man last. Kendrick Perkins, Okara White, and finally, LeBron James. He signed with the Lakers, if you didn't know. And they re-signed Kevin Love. That was another big move for them. So this says, the Cavs lost LeBron, which can't really be blamed on them, and they appear committed to staying competitive. They signed Love to an extension and are excited about Sexton's potential as a franchise player. But it's safe to assume that streak of finals appearances will come to an end. Grade B. I agree. They pick up Colin Sexton, and they got back Kevin Love. But they lost like Jeff Green, LeBron. That's a really, really big one. Yeah. Alright, the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks, I thought, had a really good offseason. So, they got Devin Harris, DeAndre Jordan, Ding Yang Kang, Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson, Ray Spalding, and Kostas Antetokounmpo. You know who brother that is. Kyle Collinsworth, Seth Curry, Yogi Ferrell, Doug McDermott, Jonathan Motley, and Nerlens Noel. This is a really good offseason, and they re-signed Salah Medri and Dirk Nowitzki. So basically, my summary of this is it's probably going to be big two of DeAndre Jordan and Luka Doncic. Whoever says it's going to be a big three of DeAndre, Luka, and Dirk, it's just no, because Dirk is too old. So it's probably going to be DeAndre and Luka Doncic because he played in the Euro League with grown men that are the same age. It's the second best basketball league in the world. So, yeah. I think Luka Doncic is going to be a really good player. So that's what I thought. They would give them like an A or something. The Bats finally got their center, signing Jordan to a 1-year deal. The pickup is secondary to the offseason headliner, bringing in top international prospect Donkey to potentially take the reins from Dirk Nowitzki as the face of the franchise. He probably is. Sorry, Dirk, you're just too old now. Great. A minus. I think it should actually be higher because Nerlens Noel, all of these outs were actually really good. Who cares about Seth Curry, Yogi Ferrell, and Nerlens Noel? I think it should be an A, at least an A, but alright. I want an A minus slide. So, let's see. Isaiah Thomas, Michael Porter Jr., Jared Vanderbilt, and Thomas Welsh. Out Wilson Chandler, Daryl Arthur, Kenneth Faried, and Isaiah Whitehead. And they re-signed Will Barton, Torrey Craig, and Nikola Jokic had a contract extension. Wow. Okay, so they give this group an A. I think that this was definitely a better offseason than the Nuggets. But we'll just read this. The Nuggets pounced on Porter, a potential top 3 pick who dropped due to concerns about his back. Then locked up Jokic long term and brought back Barton. They also picked up Thomas for some bench scoring, while trading away Chandler and Faried for much needed cap relief. Overall, it was a solid offseason for a team hoping to make some noise in the West. Grade A. I disagree with that. The first disagreement of mine. So, let's move on to the Detroit Pistons. They didn't really make some huge moves. Probably the biggest move was, honestly, I'm not sure. So they got Jose Calderon. I know who he is. They got Zaza, Glenn Robinson III, Kyrie Thomas, and Bruce Brown. And they lost Brooks, Eric Moreland, Anthony Tolliver. And they re-signed nobody. Detroit had little cap room, but picked up a couple of KG vets in Calderon and Pachulia while taking a chance on Robinson, who showed potential 2 seasons ago with the Pacers before losing nearly all of last season to injury. And of course, the Golden freaking State Warriors. Oh, the Golden State Warriors. Oh, yes, I understand this. We're getting to this last. So the Warriors got Jonas Jerebko, Damian Lee, Jacob Evans. They lost JaVale McGee, who signed with the Lakers, and Zaza, who we just saw sign with the Pistons. And they re-signed Kevin Durant and Kevin Looney. And now, we have to say it. The Golden State Warriors picked up DeMarcus Cousins. They signed DeMarcus Cousins. Yeah, let's just move on and see their grade. After making sure Durant was taken care of, Golden State dropped another bomb on the NBA with the Cousins signing. Jerebko, Lee, Stephen Curry's soon-to-be brother-in-law, and Evans will help fill out the roster. There was a collective sigh when Cousins joined Golden State. And if he comes back healthy, it will be hard to unseat the champs. Great. Houston Rockets. Carmelo Anthony. They got Carmelo Anthony. Michael Carter Williams, who I don't care about. James Ennis through the third. D'Anthony Melton, and Vincent Edwards. And they lost Trevor Ariza and Luc Mbah a Moute, who I think these were bad for the Rockets, because these two were doing pretty good for the Rockets, yeah. And they actually did some okay re-signs. They did Clint Capella, they re-signed Clint Capella, Gerald Green, and Chris Paul. So let's see this. So they lost Trevor Ariza and Luc Mbah a Moute. Yeah, that's what I thought. It would be like a C because they lost those guys. So let me see what this says. Houston brought back Paul and Capella, but losing Ariza and Mbah a Moute hurts big time, as they provided the Lincoln defense versatility that made last year's Rocket team special. They added Carmelo Anthony, and general manager Daryl Morey has hinted that the roster might look different come April. But for now, this is a significant downgrade. Grade C-. Yep. Alright. So next is the Indiana Pacers. So they got Tariq Evans, Doug McDermott, Kyle O'Quinn, Aaron Holiday, and Liz Johnson out. Al Jefferson, Glenn Robinson III, and of course, Lance Stevenson, who signed with the Lakers just so that he could blow in LeBron's face in the locker room every day. So, and to practice. Don't forget to practice. So, they re-signed nobody. So let's just read this. Indiana had a sneaky strong offseason, replacing Stevenson with Evans. Robinson was McDermott and Jefferson was O'Quinn. Holiday could also fill needed backup point guard. The Pacers will try to rebuild off a surprising 27-18 campaign around newly minted franchise player Victor Oladipo. Grade A-. Los Angeles Clippers. In Marcin Gortat, Jonathan Motley, Mike Scott, Luc Mbah a Moute, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Jerome Robinson. And they lost Austin Rivers. I don't know why his father traded him. It's like, son, I don't want you anymore. DeAndre Jordan signed with the Mavericks, and CJ Williams was away. That would actually be sad if his dad had to tell him, son, I do not want you anymore. So they re-signed Avery Bradley, Montrezl Harrell. So let's see this. Lob City's officially over with the departure of Jordan Rivers, but the Clippers had its solid pieces and are excited about Gilgeous-Alexander as a potential franchise guard. Grade B. I'd give them maybe a B. And of course, the Los Angeles Lakers. So they got a ton of players. They got Michael Beasley, Joel Berry II, Jeffrey Carroll. We're getting to him. JaVale McGee, Rajon Rondo, Lance Stevenson so he can blow in LeBron's face and ear in the locker room and at practice. So pretty much every day. Moritz Wagner, Isaac Bonga, and whatever this guy's name is. They lost Thomas Bryant, Tyler Ennis, Channing Frye, Brook Lopez, Julius Randle, and Isaiah Thomas, and they re-signed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Travis Ware. So let's see LeBron James. Yes, LeBron James signed with the Lakers. So this says the Lakers won the LeBron sweepstakes, which automatically gets them in a top grade. But then things got really crazy. LeBron seems to be on board with the signings, and the Lakers surely want to keep him happy. They'll hope this odd mix of veterans can meld with their young talent to produce a playoff contender in the loaded West. Grade A. Yeah, I think this was actually okay offseason for them because since they got all these veterans like JaVale McGee, they got Rondo, they got Lance Stevenson. I think that their young players are gonna be better for it. I think they're definitely gonna be at most a 60, but they're not. They should be a playoff team. So let's just see the Memphis Grizzlies off season. So they got Kyle Anderson, Omri Caspi, Dakari Johnson, Selvin Mack, Garrett Temple, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Javon Carter. And they lost Deontay Davis, Tyreek Evans, and Gerald Martin and Ben McLemore. I only recognize 2 names from this list. So let's see this. The Grizz added smart, trustworthy veterans in Anderson, Caspi, and Temple, and Jackson Jr. could be the best player in his draft class. And in a healthy Mike Conley and Marcus Gasol, and Memphis could be back in the playoff hunt. Grade B+. Yeah, it's if they make the playoffs, they're gonna be an 8th seed or something. They're not gonna be the 7th seed, I don't think, if they even make the playoffs. So let's go to the Heat. This is easy. Miami Heat. In none, out none, and they re-signed Wayne Ellington and Derrick Jones Jr. So this is probably going to be a C or something because they did nothing except re-sign. So Miami was handcuffed by some long-term deals that limited their flexibility this summer, and they also didn't have a draft pick. They'll have pretty much the exact same roster as last season, which was only good enough to win a single game in the first round playoff exit. Like the rest of us, the Heat await a word from Dwayne Wade on whether he'll return for his 16th season. Grade C. Exactly. That's average because they did nothing. Yeah. Milwaukee Bucks. They got Pat Connaughton, Ersan Ilyasova, Brook Lopez, and Dante DiVincenzo. And they lost Brandon Jennings and Jabari Parker, which makes them a little bit worse, I think, and re-signed nobody. Let's see. The Bucks cut bait on Parker, choosing to sign Ilyasova as a stretch 4 and more capable of fitting in with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Lopez fills a major gap at center, and DiVincenzo was highly regarded during the draft process. Grade B+. Okay, so next is the Minnesota Timberwolves. They got Anthony Tolliver, Josh Okogie, Keita Bates-Diaw, Cole Aldrich, and Nemanja Bjelica, and they re-signed Derrick Rose. Minnesota replaced Bjelica with Tolliver, but other than that, they'll run back pretty much the same team that ended the league's longest postseason drought last season. Okogie's stock was rising entering the draft, and he could track Tom Thibodeau's magical rotation, and they got a grade of B. Okay, so the New Orleans Pelicans, they got Jahlil Okafor, Alfred Payton with his long hair, Julius Randle, and Tony Carr, and they lost the biggest pieces of their roster, except for what's his name, Drew Holiday, DeMarcus Cousins, and Rajon Rondo, and they re-signed Ian Clark. So it says the Pels lost Cousins and Rondo, choosing to go with younger athletes around Anthony Davis with the addition of Payton and Randle. Payton is a certain downgrade from Rondo, and while Randle will provide energy and scoring, his lack of floor spacing and unwillingness to get teammates involved could pose problems for Davis. Grade C+. Yeah, the Pelicans had a pretty crappy offseason, and it's all because of this man. Alright, let's move on to the New York Knicks. They got Mario Hezonja, Noah Vonleh, Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson. They lost Michael Beasley, Kyle O'Quinn, and Troy Williams, and they re-signed Luke Kornet. The Knicks' biggest offseason prize is Knox, who looks like a potential two-way star after a strong summer league performance. He did have a pretty good summer league performance. Hezonja will look to live up to his number 5 overall pick status, while Bonley is a solid rotation big. They have no interest in winning next season with Kristaps Porzingis still rehabbing an injury, so the Knicks stay conservative. Grade B+. So the Thunder got Timothy Luau, Cabron, Abdel Nader, Durham Zawell, Dennis Schroeder, Hamidou Diallo, Devin Hall, and Kevin Hervey. And of course, they lost Carmelo Anthony, yay, Nick Collinson retired, Dakari Johnson got traded, and Rodney Purvis got traded. And they re-signed Raymond Fountain, the big one, Paul George, and Jeremy Grant. So this says, OKC was able to re-sign George and part ways with Anthony, thanks to the Hawks playing middleman, and the Thunder added Schroeder as a backup to Russell Westbrook in the process. Noel could also be a low-cost gem, as he'll provide shot blocking and rebounding behind Steven Adams. Overall, things couldn't have gone better for OKC. Grade A+. I think this is the first one today in this list. I mean, OKC season was actually off-season was really good. They lost Carmelo Anthony, which was really good. And they also got Dennis Schroeder and Nerlens Noel. So yeah, they're right. A+. Orlando Magic. Nobody really cares about the Magic. They got Jerian Grant, Jarrell Martin, Timothy Mozgov, Muhammad Balma, Melvin Frazier, and Justin Jackson. And they lost Bismack Biyombo, Mario Hezonja, Dakari Johnson, Shelvin Mack, and Rodney Purvis. I keep seeing that name a lot. I don't know why. And they re-signed Aaron Gordon. Orlando re-signed Gordon and took a flyer on Bamba, a 7-footer whose upside almost eclipses his gigantic wingspan. That's the good part about their offseason. The Magic don't look much better on paper, but they'll hope that Bamba can eventually play alongside Eric Gordon and Jonathan Isaac to create a formidable front court, and they graded them a B. So let's go to the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay, so they got Wilson Chandler, Mike Muscala, J.R. Smith, Landry Shamet, and Shake Milton. They lost Justin Anderson, Marco Bellinelli, Richaun Holmes, Ersan Ilyasova, and Timothy Law Carbo. And they re-signed Amir Johnson and J.J. Redick. Yeah, the Sixers mixed out on LeBron, but they brought back Redick, added a versatile wing at Chandler and a stretch forward, and Muscala after being Bachelor backed out of their agreement. Rookie J.R. Smith will also likely crack the rotation, but the team lost some big-time shooting with Bellinelli and Ilyasova, which they need around Ben Simmons, and they graded them a B. Yeah. So they did lose Marco Bellinelli and Ersan Ilyasova, who I think used to play for the Hornets. Yeah, I think they lost some shooting, but they still have J.J. Redick, so that's pretty good. So the Phoenix Suns, yeah. So they got Trevor Ariza, that's good. Richaun Holmes, Daryl Arthur, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, Aliou Kobo, George King, and they lost Jared Dudley, Alex Lynn, Alfred Payton, Tyler Ulis, and Alan Williams. They re-signed Devin Booker. Phoenix took aim with their first number 1 overall pick in franchise history, and they added long, versatile wings in Ariza and Bridges to place around newly extended Devin Booker. It may be time for the Suns to actually start trying to win games. Grade A-. And now the Portland Trail Blazers. So they got Seth Curry, Nick Stauskas, Anthony Simmons, Gray Trent Jr., and they lost Ed Davis, Shabazz Napier, Georgios Papagiannis, and they re-signed Yusuf Nurkic. It says Portland clearly went for shooting bad in Curry and Stauskas, but they lost strong bench players in Davis and Napier, and have done nothing to address their lack of front-court firepower. The Blazers are in danger of falling behind by staying the game as the rest of the West continues to improve. Grade C. The Sacramento Kings. Oh, the Kings. They got Nemanja Bjelic, Yogi Ferrell, Ben McLemore, Deontay Davis, and Marvin Bagley III. And they lost Garrett Temple, and they re-signed nobody. The Kings had another weird offseason, signing 2 guys who backed out of deals with other teams, Bjelic and Ferrell, and reacquiring McLemore, their own former lottery pick. They also selected Bagley over Donkey, which could prove costly for a franchise desperately looking for hope. Yeah, this franchise is just terrible. Grade C-. Should have been an F-. I mean, seriously. This team, why would you draft, you should have drafted Luka Doncic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, King. You know what? I would be better than whoever the Kings GM is. I would, actually. I think I would. So, the San Antonio Spurs got Marco Bellinelli, Dante Cunningham, DeMar DeRozan, Jacob Poeltl, Lonnie Walker, and Chimezi Muda. They lost Kyle Anderson, Danny Green, Tony Parker, and of course, Kawhi Leonard. And they re-signed Davis Bertans, Brian Forbes, and Rudy Gay. So this says, given their situation, the Spurs did well to get an All-NBA player in exchange for the disgruntled Leonard, while keeping a solid roster of vets and adding a talented rookie in Walker. Now San Antonio will look to once again make the playoffs, this time behind DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge. B+. So yeah, B+ is a pretty good grade, I guess. Toronto Raptors. Of course, they got Danny Green, Greg Popovich, and Kawhi Leonard. They lost DeMar DeRozan, Alfonso McKinney, and Jacob Poeltl, and they re-signed Fred VanVleet. It's probably going to be like a higher grade just because they favor Leonard. So it says, Masai Ujiri and the Raptors went all in by dealing the face of their franchise for Leonard, who comes with both injury and motivation risk. However, he didn't have to deal with any of the team's young assets other than Poeltl, and if Leonard bails next summer, the Raptors are in position to begin the rebuild. If Leonard is back to his old form this season, Toronto will be a serious contender to come out of the East. Grade A. The Utah Jazz. They got Jarius Lyles, Naz Long, Grayson Allen, and they lost Jonas Jerebko. They re-signed Dante Exum, Derek Favors, Raul Neto, and George Niang. So they didn't seem like they made any big moves, except for maybe the biggest one was probably maybe Dante Exum and Derek Favors. So this says the Jazz were one of the hottest teams in basketball for the second half of last season, and they did nothing to mess up their dynamic. They added Allen, who will bring athleticism and energy to the Utah bench. And it says grade B+. The Washington Wizards. I think this is the last team. It is. So it says they got Thomas Bryant, Jeff Green, Dwight Howard, Austin Rivers, Troy Brown, and Isa Sen. And they lost Marcin Gortat and Mike Scott and re-signed nobody. The Wizards got rid of Gortat for some punch-up from the backup point guard position with Rivers, then added Howard as their new center, adding limited cap flexibility. There are certainly some strong personalities in Washington, but if it works out with the Wiz could get back into the top tier of the Eastern Conference. And that's it. Yep, this is definitely it. So, thank you guys for watching this video. If you want me to make more NBA content, then leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And, yeah, that's it.